let's talk now and go to the front lines of the fight to save lives. So we're doing a lot of stuff on the markets in this show, and that is great. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty about the medical equipment that we need and the people who we need to go there to make it, even while physical and social distancing is in order. And for that, let's go to a company that is right here around the corner in New Jersey on the front lines, and that is KNF Neuberger. Eric Wilson is the head of sales there, and he joins us now by phone to talk about this. And Eric, a lot of people aren't familiar with your company. It's been around since 1946, based in Germany, big company. What are you guys doing in New Jersey to make sure that ventilators and respirators will be available when we need them?
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity. Yeah, like you said, we're not the biggest company in the world, but we wrestle outside of our weight class, I'll say that. KNF is a pump provider, and a pump is a very important component within a ventilator and other medical devices. We heard a lot about ventilators over the past couple weeks, but there's many other types of devices as well, things like diagnostic systems, sanitation, disinfection systems, all using these types of devices. KNF is on the front lines, as you said. We are a tier one supplier to some of these medical device companies, and it's important for our employees to feel engaged, to feel safe, to be able to make it into work so that we can supply these pieces of equipment to the companies that are making devices for the hospitals.
And I would imagine, Eric, that your business has ramped up and the men and women at KNF have stepped up, even in difficult conditions. Where do we stand in getting these pumps out so we can ramp up the ventilator production?
Yeah, it's been a real challenge, and I think we can leverage some really long-term relationships that we have with not only the medical device companies themselves, but also our suppliers. That's really the whole problem here, is that the supply chain itself had to ramp up, and that's not just for the ventilators. It's for companies like mine. It's for companies that supply parts to us as well. But you're right. We are working hard. Our team is on it on a daily basis, working with companies around the world. This is a global supply chain effort. And I can tell you that one of the things that's really nice to see is the collaboration with these large medical device companies. As you can imagine, they're under tremendous pressure right now, but they have been very accommodating. They have been working very closely with my people, and that gives us the information that we need to pass on to not only our vendors, but also to our employees to make them feel good about building the equipment that we do.
Well, I'm going to ask you maybe to step out of your comfort zone totally, Eric, because you make the pumps, they make the respirators and ventilators, then they get put into the hospitals. Where can you tell the CNBC audience we are in terms of really ramping this stuff up? Because as we know, that peak, unfortunately, is coming, and it's coming in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, you're right. And the good news is that it's not like ventilator companies or these other medical device companies have just started making equipment. We have already orders on hand. We've been building equipment to go to these manufacturers on a basically monthly basis. That's been ramped up now to weekly shipments, and I can tell you that our supply chain teams are working around the clock. Our production teams are working very hard to make sure that we can ramp up. Where we're at right now, I would say, is within the next month, we should be doubling production. And a little bit past that, we probably will double again. I know we've heard those words used by other companies, but that's the forecast that we're seeing as well.
Well, Eric, we appreciate you joining us. Eric Wilson, KNF Neuberger, and a big CNBC shout-out to all the women and men who are coming in day and night at your factory and getting us through this time. Eric, thank you very much, and best to everybody.